How Norway built the world's largest oil fund. Norway is seen today as one of the most financially stable and well-managed countries in the world. But this stability is recent in historical terms. For most of Norway's past, it was a modest, low-income nation with an economy built on fishing, farming, and maritime work. Life was simple, opportunities were limited, and many Norwegians emigrated in search of a better future. Everything changed in the late 1960s. When oil was discovered in the North Sea, Norway faced a crossroads that would shape the next century. Oil is a blessing for some nations and a curse for many others. Some used the wealth quickly, spending recklessly until the money was gone. Others fell into corruption, political instability, or economic collapse. Norway had to decide what kind of country it wanted to become. In 1972, Norway created Statoil, a state-owned company designed to ensure national control over the new oil discoveries. Statoil handled exploration, drilling, and production, but more importantly, it ensured that Norway, not foreign corporations, benefited from its natural resources. This decision gave Norway the foundation it needed to build long-term wealth. Over the next decades, Statoil grew into a global energy company and became central to Norway's economic transformation. In 2018, it was renamed Equinor, reflecting a broader approach to energy, including renewables. But the name change did not erase the original strategy, the belief that oil wealth should be managed with discipline, transparency, and long-term thinking. By the 1990s, Norway recognized an uncomfortable truth. Oil is temporary. Oil prices fluctuate. Production declines. And fossil fuels will eventually phase out. If Norway spent everything it earned, the country would experience the same rise and fall cycles seen in so many resource-rich nations. To prevent this, Norway made a historic decision. Instead of using all oil revenue immediately, the government created the Government Pension Fund Global, known worldwide as the Oil Fund. The goal was simple: invest the oil wealth abroad so that it grows over generations, turning temporary income into permanent national wealth. This decision was revolutionary. Today, the oil fund is the largest sovereign wealth fund in the world, worth more than $1 trillion. But its true power doesn't come from size. It comes from structure, rules, and long-term discipline. The first key principle was diversification. Norway chose not to keep the money inside its own economy, where it could cause inflation or distort the market. Instead, the oil fund invests globally, in thousands of companies across technology, healthcare, real estate, finance, and renewable energy. If you buy from Apple, Microsoft, Nestlé, or Samsung, a small portion of that purchase benefits Norway. By spreading investments across the world, Norway reduced its dependence on oil and protected itself from economic shocks. The second principle was ethics. The oil fund follows strict guidelines that exclude companies involved in corruption, severe environmental damage, human rights abuses, and unethical business practices. This keeps the fund's reputation strong and reduces long-term financial risk. Ethical investing is not just moral, it is economically smart. Another critical element is the 3% rule. Norway's government is allowed to spend only the long-term expected return of the fund, around 3% per year. This prevents overspending and protects the fund's core value. Even during difficult times such as financial crises, oil price crashes, or global recessions, Norway resisted the temptation to take more than the rule allowed. Discipline, not emotion, controls the fund. Many countries with natural resources fall into what economists call the resource curse. Wealth arrives suddenly. Governments overspend. Corruption increases. Economies become dependent on a single commodity. When prices fall, the system collapses. Norway avoided this downward spiral by creating rules that protected future generations from the mistakes of the present. Another factor behind Norway's success was transparency. The oil fund publishes every investment it makes. Citizens can see where the money goes, how it performs, and how decisions are made. This transparency builds trust and prevents misuse. It also makes Norway's wealth management model one of the most respected in the world. The oil fund is not simply a savings account. It is a financial engine. The returns from global investments support public services, healthcare, education, and pensions, not by raising taxes but through smart investment strategies. Norway turned oil, something finite, into financial security that can last forever. What makes this achievement even more impressive is the restraint shown by Norwegian politicians over decades. It is easy to spend quickly when a country becomes wealthy. Many others have done exactly that. Norway chose another path. Leaders from different political parties agreed that the fund must be protected from short-term decisions. This cross-political agreement kept the fund stable and growing no matter who was in power. The result is a nation that used temporary natural resources to build permanent financial strength. Young Norwegians today benefit from decisions made long before they were born. They inherit not only wealth but a model of responsible leadership that shaped the country's future. The oil fund also shows how important it is to think beyond the present. Norway knew that oil production would decline. Instead of pretending the boom would last forever, the country planned for a future where oil plays a smaller role. That foresight is one of the biggest reasons Norway remains stable as the world shifts toward renewable energy. While other nations struggled with economic instability, Norway built a cushion that protects its people from sudden downturns. This stability allows Norway to maintain strong social systems, invest in infrastructure, and remain one of the best places to live. The oil fund is more than an investment portfolio. It is proof that wealth is not just about how much money you earn. It is about how you manage it, how you protect it, and how you plan for the generations that will come after you. Norway's story is a reminder that financial success comes from discipline, transparency, long-term thinking, and the willingness to make decisions that prioritize the future over immediate comfort. It shows what happens when a country chooses patience over quick profit, stability over political gain, and responsibility over risk. Today, the oil fund stands as one of the greatest financial success stories in modern history. It transformed a small, modest country into a global financial force. And it all began with the belief that wealth should serve not just one generation, but many. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more clear, practical explanations of global finance, economics, and long-term wealth strategies, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more videos.